Hi friends, welcome to SPK English Academy. In today's video, I will discuss the great four feminist writers, critics, Mary Wollstonecraft, Adeline Virginia Woolf, Simone de Beauvoir, ELAINE Showalter. Now we discuss one by one in detail. First we look at Mary Wollstonecraft. See, Mary Wollstonecraft was an English writer, philosopher, and advocate of the women's rights. Until the 20th century, Wollstonecraft's life, which encompassed several unconventional personal relationships at the time, received more attention than her writing. Today, Wollstonecraft is regarded as one of the founding feminist philosophers, and feminists often cite both her life and her works as important influences. During her brief career, she wrote novels, treatises, a travel narrative, a history of French Revolution, a conduct book, and a children's book. Wollstonecraft is best known for her work A Vindication of the Rights of Women, which was published in 1792. This is her prime and important work, which deals with feminism, in which she argues that women were not naturally inferior to men, but appear to be only because they lacked education. She suggests that both men and women should be treated as rational beings and imagines a social order founded on reason. See what that Mary Wollstonecraft says here in her work, that is a vindication of the rights of women. So, women are not naturally inferior, or they are not equal. Actually, they are equal to men in all fields. But here, that women are lack of opportunities. They did not get education. They are marginalized. They are silenced, muted. So, see, he says here. She fought about the women's rights also. See, she belongs to a circle intellectual in London under the leadership of Richard Price. See, now we look at works of Mary Wollstonecraft. See, The Vindication of the Rights of Women, which was published in 1792, it is her principal work, important work. Thoughts on the Education of Daughters, it was published in 1787. And the next work, that is A Vindication of the Rights of Man, 1790. See, Vindication of the Rights of Woman and A Vindication of the Rights of Men. How that woman and man is given the education in the present society, how that present society was that present society is male centered, patriarchy. So that's why Mary Wollstonecraft wrote these two books, A Vindication of the Rights of Woman, A Vindication of the Rights of Man. She showed the difference between how women are treated and men are treated in the society, and the difference of treating these two uh, people. See, Vindication of the Rights of Women is dedicated to Bishop Talleyrand of France. Actually, Mary Wollstonecraft had a great respect for this person. For the whole works on education and on civil liberties, Wollstonecraft has great respect for Bishop Tolerant. See, this book mainly concerned to women's rights and education. A vindication of the rights of women book mainly concerned. The main theme of this book is women's rights and education, how women are not getting the opportunities, how women are uh, uh, avoided, deprived of their rights, and also how women are not getting education. So this is the main theme of a vindication of the rights of women, which was published in 1792. So you have to remember this work. This was asked in the previous question paper, and the question may be asked also about the theme of this vindication of the rights of women. Originally, this Mary Wollstonecraft was mainly very ancient uh, feminist writer. See, next we have to look at Virginia Woolf. You know that Virginia Woolf is the great modern novelist also, as well as she was the great feminist writer. See, Adeline Virginia Woolf, her full name, was an English writer considered one of the most important modernists of the 20th century authors, and also a pioneer in the use of stream of conscious technique as a narrative device in her many novels. Woolf was born into an affluent, means rich household in South Kensington, London. She was one of the members of the Bloomsbury Group. It includes painters. See, Bloomsbury Group includes painters, writers, and critics. And then see, Virginia Woolf was one of the members of Bloomsbury Group. And who are the other members of Bloomsbury Group? This question is asked in the previous KSET question paper and NET question paper. So you have to remember Bloomsbury Group. Who are the member of Bloomsbury Group? See, members of Bloomsbury Group: John Maynard Keynes, he was an economist; Leighton Strachey, iconoclastic biographer; E.M. Posture, the modern great English novelist; and Virginia Woolf. So these four are the members of this Bloomsbury group. See, now we have to look at works of Virginia Woolf. A Room of One's Own, published in 1929, it is a feminist work. It plays a very vital role while we study about feminism in English literature. See, next, that is Mr. Bennet and Mrs. Brown, published in 1924. It is an essay by Woolf. See, now I have to look at novels of Woolf also. See, the main important novels of Virginia Woolf are Mrs. Dalloway. This novel is written only for one day. Sorry, this is set, or the time of this novel is only one day. It begins in the morning and ends at the night. So this is one day. To the Lighthouse is very important modern novel where that Virginia Woolf uh, used the stream of consciousness technique. So that is, and also the waves. So Mr. Dalloway, To the Lighthouse, The Waves are the great novels written by Virginia Woolf, the modern writer and the feminist. See, Head in the Oven is another novel by Virginia Woolf. See, Head in the Oven is a group of women writers. It includes Virginia Woolf, includes Virginia Woolf, Sylvia Plath, confessional poet, Anne Sexton. See, all the three women committed suicide. So another one person is there who committed suicide. That is John Berryman also committed suicide, but she is not the member of this group. So the question was asked, and also I discussed while discussing that contemporary English poetry. Sylvia Plath, Anne Sexton, and John Berryman. These three women poets committed suicide because of their internal trouble, torture, confession. So that's why Sylvia Plath is expressed her confession in her poetry. See, Woolf delivered her lecture at the two colleges, mainly, so they see Cambridge, Newnham, and Girton. So these are the two colleges where original delivered her lectures. These both colleges were single sex that admitted only women. Which college? Cambridge, Newnham, and Girton. In these two colleges, so admissions were given only for the single sex, that is only for women, means girls. See, one concept that Virginia Woolf used in her work, that is her a one's own room, that is Odtha, Odtaa, one damned thing after another. Women are caught one demon thing after another in their life. Men are always riding over women. Some additional information about Virginia Woolf. See, Woolf discussed about fund or grant to the college both for women and men. If we compare the grant, the men's college is more. It means if you compare the grant or the fund which was released by the government to the colleges of men and women, there is a lot of differences there. There also the government is discriminating between women and men. So the grant or fund is released very quick and more to men's college if you compare to those colleges of for women. So Virginia will discuss this point also in her one in a room of one's own. Next point, she quotes one example of Shakespeare's sister, Judith, as talented as herself because gender bias in Elizabethan England. What that original says here, in the Elizabethan age, that Shakespeare was the dominating figure. He was the greatest world famous dramatist of that age. But that Shakespeare's sister was there, Judith. She was also as talented as herself, but she was not given an opportunity. She was not given an opportunity. She was not educated properly as Shakespeare. She was not given equal status in the society because Elizabethan England or Elizabethan age was patriarchy, male centered. So it shows here, if the opportunity would have been given to Judith Shakespeare, she would have become the greatest and world famous dramatist today also, according to Virginia Woolf. See, according to her means according to Virginia Woolf, Elizabethan age was patriarchal, means male centered, so that no one woman dramatist had become during this age. Only that man dramatists are there. Shakespeare is there. Ben Jonson is there. Webster is there. So these are all men dramatists. But there are no any women dramatists in the age of Elizabethan because it was male centered, patriarchal, patriarchal. See, Woolf quotes some examples about feminist in her A Room of One's Own book. See, Anne Finch, Countess of Winchelsea, was an 18th century nature poet. See, Anne Finch is the only woman poet to have been retrieved and placed in the phase of pre-romantic poetry, normally thought to have been a wholly male domain. So, that Anne Finch was the only woman poet of that 18th century. See, Virginia Woolf's poems were edited by Middleton Murray. You have to remember who edited Virginia Woolf's poems. Middleton Murray. See, Margaret, Duchess of Newcastle, the contemporary of Anne Pincha. Anne Pinch. See, Margaret, the author of Duchess of Newcastle, was the contemporary of Anne Pinch. You have to remember these points. The question may ask on these points. Virginia Woolf's poems are about on the inequitable division of labor. Inequitable division of labor between women and men, which even now stands internationally. So many of Woolf's poems are about the inequitable division of labor between women and men, how that labor was divided in those days. So this concept stood internationally. See next, Naomi Wolf and their one person in the beauty myth. In the beauty myth, Naomi Wolf tells that women works harder than men, whether they are Eastern or Western, housewives or job holders. See, Woolf wanted economic independence for women as in the society. As per the last opinion of that Virginia Woolf is that she demanded or wanted economic independence for women as the men have in the present society. She demanded for this. She forced for this. See, according to Virginia Woolf, there must be a separate space for women. He told that there must be a separate room for women. Now we have to look at the second important feminist writer, that is Simone de Beauvoir. Simone de Beauvoir created a great historical remark in feminism. See, Simone de Beauvoir was a French, remember the word French writer. Simone de Beauvoir, a French writer, huh? Intellectual, existentialist, philosopher, political activist, feminist, and social theorist. See, though she did not consider herself a philosopher, she had a significant influence on both feminist and existentialism and feminist theory. Beauvoir wrote novels, essays, biographies, autobiographies, and monographs on philosophy, politics, and social issues. She was known for her 1949 treatise, so that is the second sex. So this is the most important and vital work of feminism of English language. The second sex, many question paper, this question was asked in matching. So the second sex is a detailed analysis of women's oppression and foundational tract of contemporary feminism, and for her novels including She Came to Stay and The Mandarins. These are her novels. See about Beauvoir. So see, when Simone de Beauvoir wrote her book relating to feminism, that is the second sex. So by that work created a revolutionary change in the history of English literature, in the theory of in the literary theory of English also. See, her most enduring contribution to literature is her memoirs, notably the first volume. So that is Memoir Deun Jeun Fille Rangi, published in 1958, which have a warmth and descriptive power. See, she was also known for her open, lifelong relationship with the French philosopher, that is Jean Paul Sartre. So, Jean Paul Sartre and Simone de Beauvoir, they had lifelong relationship with each other. See, Jean Paul Sartre was also very important literary figure in English language. Many times a question was asked on Jean Paul Sartre. Also, you study about him in detail. About Sartre, about the traditions of human choice and freedom. See, H.M. Parsley translated these words from French to English. Two kinds of women continue to be the usual professional and businessmen, according to Beauvoir. See, that Beauvoir talks about the position of women and women's employment and profession after the Second World War. See, access to higher education and the right to vote had by this empowered at least two generations of women. According to Beauvoir, women is the only sexual being to man. He is the absolute. She is the other. Everything is man, but other is woman. Woman is meant only animal to man, only sexual being or only sexual thing to man. See, woman is treated as other gender according to Simone de Beauvoir. According to Beauvoir, this myth of woman as other, permits European thought. See, she explained that women have always occupied a position unique among the oppressed sections of humankind. So, if there is any other humankind which are oppressed, so woman is among those. August Bebel, a German socialist, wrote about Simone de Beauvoir. What's it? Women under Socialism, which was a survey of the position of women from prehistoric times up to a projected socialist utopia. See, next is very important. That is ELAINE Showalter, American feminist. See, ELAINE Showalter was born on January 21, 1941, Boston, Massachusetts, United States of America. She is well known for gynocriticism. See, ELAINE Showalter is regarded as the father or originator of gynocriticism. Gynocriticism means the books written by women. Androcriticism means the books written by men. She studied at Bryn Mawr College, an Ivy League California as a teacher and a researcher in English and women studies. See, she is an American literary critic, means Ellen Showalter is an American literary critic, feminist, and writer on cultural and social issues. She is one of the founders of feminist literary criticism in United States Academia, developing the concept and practice of gynocriticism, critics term. So, describing the study of women as writers, best known in academic and popular cultural fields. She has written and edited numerous books and articles focused on a variety of subjects from feminism, literary criticism, see, fashion, sometimes sparking widespread controversy, especially with her work on illness. Showalter has been a television critic for People magazine and a commentator on BBC, radio, and television. She is a recipient of the Truman Capote Award for Literary Criticism. So now we have to look at gynocritics. What do we mean by gynocritics? Showalter coined the term gynocritics. So this question was asked. Gynocritics is a term coined by Ellen Showalter, American feminist, to describe literary criticism based in on a female perspective. See, probably the best description of Showalter gives of gynocritics is towards a feminist poetics. It is an essay written by Showalter. In contrast to an angry or living fixation on male literature, the program of gynocritics is to construct a female framework for the analysis of women's literature. The main purpose of founding that gynocritics is to for the analysis of women's literature to develop new models and based on the study of female experience rather than to adopt male models and theories. See, gynocritics begins at the point when we free ourselves from the linear absolutes of male literary history, stop trying to fit women between the lines of the male tradition, and focus instead on the newly visible world of female culture. See, that gynocritics does not mean that the goal of gynocritics is to erase the differences between the male and female rating. Gynocritics is not on a pilgrimage to the promised land in which gender would lose its power, in which all texts would be sexless and equal, like angels. So the main purpose of gynocritics is to make all the texts are equal, all the texts are sexless, means we do not do any discrimination on the basis of the sexes, like male, the books written by male sex or the book is written by female sex. No, all are equal. How that all angels in the heaven treated. See, rather, gynocritics aims to understand women's writing not as a product of sexism, but as a fundamental aspect of female reality. Showalter acknowledges the difficulty of defining the unique difference of women's writing, which she says is a slippery and demanding task. In Feminist Criticism in the Wilderness, it is an essay written by Ellen Showalter. This essay was asked in the previous question paper. It is very, very important popular essay of that Ellen Showalter. See, Ellen Showalter says that gynocritics may never succeed in understanding the spatial difference of women's writing or realize a distinct from female literary tradition, but With grounding in theory and historical research, Showalter sees gynocriticism was a way to learn something solid, enduring, huh, real about the relations of women to literary culture. See, Showalter stresses heavily to the need to free ourselves from the lineal absolute of male literary history. That is going to be the point where gynocritics make a beginning. The female malady was was consulted by Ellen Derolle, a proper education for girls. So now to look at works of Ellen Showalter. The first work is that is a literature of their own, women writers from Bronte to Dory Lessing. So in this work, that Showalter says the problem of the woman scholar trying to position herself in the academy, which is patriarchal in the assumptions it makes and the power structure through researcher can only see a caricature to such an academy, a devotion from the norm or an absurd travesty. A woman scholar creates the space for herself. Feminist criticism in the wilderness essay by Showalter addresses women and men within the academy who are anxious about the specific problem. Women as writer and may be called gynocritics deals with woman as the producer of textual meaning with the history themes, genres and structure of literature to be woman. Its subject includes the psychodynamics of female creativity, linguistic, and the problem of a female language. Trajectory of the individual or collective male female literary career, literary history, and of course, studies of particular writers and works. So now I have to look at four models of gynocritics, which Ellen Showalter completely depends. See, gynocritic, gynocentric means writing that centers to women. Women-centered writing. Gynocentric means women-centered writing, writing relating to women, in which writing women is highlighted. So androcentric means male centered, the writing which is highlighted men characters. So that is gynocentric, woman centered, androcentric, that is male centered. This question was asked in the previous question paper. She Shoulder uses to support her theory of gynocritics is based on four models. What are those four models? See, one, organic or biological criticism belongs to that biological difference is fundamental to understanding how they represent themselves in writing. Next one, that is linguistic criticism. It examines possible difference in the women and men use language, explores reasons for these differences. The third one is psychoanalytical feminist criticism is a model of difference based on the relationship between gender and the creative process. Fourth one, that is women's culture. Women's culture and men's culture are represented by two interesting circles with a large areas of common experience and two light crescent shaped areas of experience. See, historically, women have been the muted, silenced group and men dominated the group. It means from historically, if we look back into our history, our past events, past history, so in those days also, women have been muted, silenced. They were deprived of their own rights. They were not given education. Even they were not allowed to vote, cast their vote also. Recently it was given. So by seeing all these four feminists' thoughts and views and ideas, how we have to understand here how women are treated badly in the present society. So feminism means it is a a theory of criticism which deals with the ratings of women and how that women are deprived of their rights. So this is feminism. In today's class, we have discussed four great feminist writers. So next will come the next topic. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe today. Now you are going to appear the set, and the next after 1 month you are going to attend the NTA UGC NET English for English literature. So these videos will help you to prepare well for the examination. And also share these videos, comment, and also please like my videos. Thank you watching for my video. Up to the next video. Thank you very much.